we have studied about electrostatic force, electrostatic field. Now we need to understand what is electric flux and what is Gauss law and the applications of Gauss's law. Now first thing, electric flux. But to understand what is electric flux, we need to understand first what is electric field lines or lines of force, anything you can say, and what are all the properties of these electric field lines. That is what mainly we have to understand first. Then only we can understand electric flux. Then only we can study the Gauss's law. Then we can go for applications of Gauss's law. First, electric field line. What is the meaning of electric field line is, whatever the region in which electric field existing, that region you can imagine in the form of lines. Means electric field can be imagined in the form of imaginary lines called lines of force or electric field lines. You can also say like electric lines of force. So whatever lines we are talking, at any point if you draw the tangent to the line, the tangent gives the direction of electric field at that point. So the imaginary line drawn whose tangent gives the direction of electric field is defined as electric field line. Now such electric field lines, if you consider, there are few important properties you need to remember. Those are, the very first thing, the electric field, of course direction we have already taken, like the electric field always away from positive charge towards negative charge. Similarly, if you consider the electric field lines, they always appears to be originate from positive charge and terminates or ends on negative charge. So here the positive charge, if you consider, the field lines appears to emerge from the positive charge, and if you observe the negative charge, the field lines appears to end on negative charge. Like if you take the combination of positive charge and negative charge, the field lines appear like they emerge from positive charge and they end on negative charge. They are continuous from positive charge to negative charge. They will not originate from the surroundings of the charge. They originate from the charges and they end on charges, but originate from positive charge and ends on negative charge. And the second one, they never intersect each other. Why they will not intersect? Because if they intersect at any point, at that point you will get two tangents, which represents there are two directions possible for electric field, but which is completely wrong. At one point there must be one unique direction for electric field. That's why they never intersect each other. The electric field lines never intersect each other. Each line is independent. Now crowded field lines represents greater the intensity of electric field at that point. Comparatively, if you take the region of electric field, the point where the field intensity is higher, there the lines are crowded, and the point where the field lines are lesser or far away, there the field intensity is lesser. And the last one, they never pass through conductor. Of course we will study again the properties of conductor separately, but here you just remember that inside the conductor always electric field is zero. So there is no question of electric field lines passes through conductor. Always the electric field inside the conductor is zero. That's why no electric field line passes through a conductor, because previously questions have given based on that particular point also. So that's why take care. And one more thing, always the electric field line perpendicular to the surface of conductor. Of course these things again we study in properties of conductor separately. So this is what exactly the meaning and properties of electric field lines or electric lines of force. Now what is the relation of these electric field lines with electric flux? So whatever the title, if you consider flux, what is the meaning of flux? Flux means it is quantity, amount. What amount? Or you can say that like here it is a number. What is the number? Number of electric field lines. Number of electric field lines. Number of electric field lines passing through a particular surface is defined as electric flux. Or you can say like number of electric field lines per unit surface area is defined as electric flux. So that's why to understand electric flux we have to understand electric field lines. So the flux of electric field depends upon the number of field lines. Now same thing we can also define using the mathematical equation. So how to take that mathematical equation and what exactly the expression is, that is what we need to understand. Electric flux. So we just discussed that the number of electric field lines per unit surface area we called as electric flux. So that only mathematically what we define is the electric flux, which we denote with pi, is E bar dot ds bar. That means dot product of electric field and surface area vector. So here the electric flux is a number, scalar. Now you need to get one scalar from two vectors. One vector is electric field and another vector is area vector. How to get the area vector? If there is a surface, you have to take the normal to the surface, one unit vector. That is the direction of surface. So here the expansion of this equation will become E ds cos theta, where theta is the angle between E bar comma n cap, where n cap is unit vector perpendicular to the surface. Unit vector perpendicular to the surface. Like you consider if the surface is in the plane of board, then the perpendicular or normal is like this, but it may be outward or inward. If the surface is horizontal, then the perpendicular or normal may be upward or downward. Like that you have to consider the area direction. Then if you consider the angle, then you will get the flux linked with a surface. Here the electric flux is nothing but a number, a scalar quantity, which is the dot product of electric field and area vector. Now let's take simple example, like for example electric field in a region is given by 2i cap minus 3j cap and a plane surface of area 10 meters square is in xy plane. Then what is the flux linked with this surface due to this electric field? So how to calculate it? The flux linked with any surface is E bar dot A bar. So here E bar is given. What about A bar? A bar direction means perpendicular to surface. Here it is in xy plane. Perpendicular to xy plane means what? Z direction. Nothing but k cap. Therefore A bar magnitude is 10 and direction is along k cap. E bar is 2i cap minus 3j cap. Then flux is E bar dot A bar. How to find the dot product? Dot product of two vectors is sum of product of I coefficient, j coefficient, k coefficient. What is I coefficient here? 2. But what is I coefficient here? 0. J coefficient minus 3. Here j coefficient 0. Here k coefficient 0. Here k coefficient 10. So what is the product? 0. So what is the flux linked with this surface? 0. Like that, you can get some basic questions based on this electric flux. This is what electric flux. But sometimes questions will be asked in different manner related to same flux calculation, but that can be done by using Gauss's law. But before that, we need to understand what is Gauss's law, what it states actually, and how can we use that Gauss's law in finding electric field due to different elements. We are talking about electric flux. How to find the electric flux linked with a surface due to an electric field. Now, in that way, we are going to discuss Gauss's law, where it states that electric flux linked with a closed surface completely depends upon the charge enclosed within the surface. So, it states all about electric flux linked with a closed surface only. Now, if you consider any closed surface, for any closed surface, what is the total or net electric flux? The total electric flux linked with that closed surface depends upon net charge within the surface by epsilon naught. The ratio of charge enclosed within the surface and epsilon naught is equal to flux, electric flux. That is what the statement of Gauss's law. You can prove that also in very simple manner. While proving that, you will also understand one more thing, that Gaussian surface, which is very important in deriving important derivations for the board purpose, also for entrance point of view. What is that Gaussian surface? Here we mentioned that closed surface. If the surface is not closed, sometimes you may have to imagine one surface which can enclose the given charge, so that imaginary surface is defined as, is called as Gaussian surface. For example, consider there is a point charge Q. Now it is a one single charge, point charge. It is not enclosed by any surface. Now what you do is you imagine one surface. Let's take one sphere. So one sphere you have imagined, which I am calling it as Gaussian surface. So imagine one surface so that the given charge is closed. Now here our closed surface, what we imagined is spherical surface, spherical Gaussian surface. Now, according to Gauss's law, the total flux linked with the surface, I mean sphere, should be equal to how much? Q by epsilon naught. But we have studied that the electric flux linked with any surface is E bar dot A bar. So let us take it in. So to prove that, take one small surface on the surface of sphere. Now one small charge is there, and around it one sphere you have imagined, and on the surface you have considered one small portion, circular portion you take, of area ds. Now this is the sphere, this is the center. Now what is the radius? The radius you consider something capital R. Now this is the radius. So the radius is always perpendicular to the surface at every point for sphere. So this is the normal to this surface, because this is along radius, because radius is perpendicular to every point on the surface. So that's why this is the direction of this small area. You can consider nothing but unit vector along the normal to surface. Now this is a positive charge, and at this distance capital R, the electric field is kq by r square, and this direction is also outward only, because this is a positive charge. So the field is outward. Now here E is kq by r square outward. Area is ds. Magnitude of A bar is ds, and that direction is also outward. Now E bar is parallel to n cap. So what is the theta? 0 degree. Then the total flux linked with, let's take only small area. So that's why small flux d pi equal to E into A is ds into cos 0. So d pi E equal to E ds. Now if you want to find the total flux means what you will go for? You will go for integration. Then integration E ds. So E into integration ds. What is the total surface area of the sphere? 4 pi r square. Now what is E value? kq by r square. K is what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Substitute it. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square times 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square cancel. What is the result? Q by epsilon naught. So the total flux linked with the sphere now became q by epsilon naught. So hence it is proved. If you imagine one closed surface around this charge, now within this surface only one charge is there. So that the total flux linked with this surface is depending upon the total charge enclosed within it. So that is what the Gauss's law statement. And we also proved mathematically. This is a simple verification of Gauss's law. And using this Gauss's law we can study the various elements. What is the electric field produced by elements like infinitely long rod, thin rod, and infinitely long plate, and sphere, solid sphere, also hollow sphere. Those elements, what is the electric field due to them, we can study and we can understand, we can derive using Gauss's law. But before that, we need to understand one more type of question based on this flux. I mean Gauss's law also, few questions will come in the entrance point of view. And especially based on this imagination of Gaussian surface. How to calculate flux linked with a surface. So let us discuss those questions. Calculation of flux linked with some surfaces. We have studied about what is the meaning of electric flux and what is Gauss's law. Let us try to understand 2-3 questions. How to calculate questions based on flux calculation, that too using Gauss's law. What Gauss's law states? It states that the flux linked with a closed surface is always equal to the ratio of total charge enclosed within it and epsilon naught. The ratio of total charge enclosed within the surface and epsilon naught. And also I mentioned that if there is no closed surface, then you have to imagine Gaussian surface. But that is if. Let us try to understand this question. Consider an infinitely long wire having linear charge density lambda is passing through, first, if a cube of side length A along the body diagonal, and in second case a sphere along its diameter, find flux through surface in each case. Here you consider the radius is A. Now to make you understand this, just take the one cube. So consider this is the cube. Now what is they are telling is a linearly charged infinitely long wire. One wire is of very long length, infinitely long. Let's consider this is extended that and this direction. Now it is passing through the body diagonal. Body diagonal means what? If you consider the cube, see here, the lower edge, if you consider one corner in left side, the corner, lower corner left side and the upper corner right side. If you join both of them, then if a wire is passing through this, then how much length of the wire is lying inside the cube? It is equal to the length of body diagonal. If you consider a cube of side length A, then the face diagonal length is root 2a and the body diagonal length is root 3a. So what is the total length lying inside the cube? That is root 3a. So this much of length of charged wire is lying inside the cube. Now the cube is a closed surface. Now this much of length of wire is inside means how much of charge is inside the cube? Charge per unit length is lambda. So what is the charge for this much of length? So root 3 lambda a, length into linear charge density. So this much of charge will lie within the cube. Then according to Gauss's law, the total flux enclosed by the closed surface, what it will become? Total net charge root 3 lambda a by epsilon naught. Similarly, now you consider sphere. So what you have to understand is, here there is no point charge or there are no point charges. There is a continuous charge distribution, but that is passing through particular closed surface. Then you have to calculate what is the corresponding net charge which is lying within the surface. Similarly, now you consider a sphere. Now this is a spherical body. So one sphere, if you consider, the same wire now passing through its diameter, along the diameter like this, like this. Now when the wire is passing through the diameter, the total length within the sphere is 2r, 2 into radius. How much is the radius? A. So what is the total length lying within the sphere? Length is 2a. Then what is the corresponding net charge? Means the total charge of this infinitely long wire within this length is equal to length times charge density, that is lambda times 2a equal to 2 lambda a. Therefore, now the total flux linked with the sphere will become net charge 2 lambda a by epsilon naught. So this way you can understand the question based on electric flux calculation. But sometimes you may have to imagine Gaussian surface and you have to find the flux linked with the surfaces. So let us understand those type of questions also. So let us discuss about the flux linked with a cube when a point charge is placed at different positions. Consider a cube. Now, a point charge you can place at various positions and they can ask you what is the flux linked with cube. Like the first is, if a charge q placed at body center, at what point? If a charge q placed at First one, body center. Let us try to understand the same thing. Now consider the cube. So here the body center. Body center means what? At the midpoint of body diagonal. At the midpoint of body diagonal. Like if you consider, this is the body diagonal. Now at the midpoint of body diagonal or at the midpoint of the whole cube, if the charge is placed like here at the center, then the total flux linked with cube is Q by epsilon naught. Why? Because the total charge enclosed within the cube is how much? Only one charge, Q. Now the total flux is Q by epsilon naught. Very simple. Yes or no? But what if the charge position changed? So they can ask you different cases, like second one, consider. Initially it is at body center. Now if it is at face center, now the charge is at face center. Now consider one side, any one side. It is of square shape. Now there is a diagonal. Now at the midpoint of the diagonal, that is called at the face center. If the charge is at the face center, then it is not closed one now. Now the charge is outside on the surface. It is not enclosed by any closed surface. Then what we have to do? To understand that, to solve it, let us imagine one more cube in this manner. So here two cubes are there. So that now the charge is here at the common surface of two cubes. Now these two cubes are enclosed one single charge. Then what is the total flux linked for these two cubes? Q by epsilon naught. So that for these two cubes, the total flux is Q by epsilon naught. Then what is the flux for each one? For each one, the flux is Q by 2 epsilon naught, half. So the flux linked with each cube will become Q by 2 epsilon naught. Also sometimes either in this case or in this case, they can also ask you what is the flux linked with each face. Here how many faces are there? For every cube there are 6 faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 bottom, top. 2 right and left. 2 back and front. So total 6 faces. So for 6 faces, the flux in first case is Q by epsilon naught. Then what is the flux for each face? Divided by 6. So Q by 6 epsilon naught. In second case, if you consider, now the charge is at the face center. So the field lines are parallel to this face. So whatever this face you are considering, if the charge is here, the field lines are parallel to this particular surface. I mean this one particular face. So field is parallel to surface means angle between field and area is 90. Then what is the flux for this one? 0. So flux is linked with the remaining 5 faces only. So that's why the total flux is divided among the remaining 5 surfaces. So that's why flux through each face now it will become Q by 10 epsilon naught, because this is dividing in 5 parts. Divided by 5. 5 2s are 10. So this is the way you can understand the flux linked with a cube or each face of the cube when it is placed at body center or face center. Let's take the third case. What if it is placed at midpoint of side? Midpoint of any side. What is the meaning of side length? If you consider the cube, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 12 sides are there. So you consider any one. You consider one side and at the midpoint of the side. So here if the charge is placed, now you cannot imagine one more cube so that it can be closed. Even if you imagine one more cube, still the charge is outside. So the charge is still outside. See here. Now here on the edge. But to close this charge, you need to imagine two more cubes. So here one, like this. Two more will come. So total 4 cubes are required to close the charge. So then what is the flux for total 4 cubes? Q by epsilon naught. Then what is the flux for each cube? Q by 4 epsilon naught. Now let us try to understand. See. Now the charge is at one side. Now here if you consider the electric field lines due to this charge, this top surface you consider and this front surface you consider, for this and for this, the field lines are parallel. So that for these two surfaces flux will become how much? 0. Then what are the remaining surfaces? 4. So that this total flux will be divided among the remaining 4 faces. So that for the each face, for those remaining 4 faces, it will become Q by 16 epsilon naught, because it divides into 4 parts. 4 4s are 16. Similarly, you can understand the last and final case, that is if it is placed at corner. So consider if the charge is placed at any one corner. Let's take this corner, one corner. Now you cannot take one cube upon it so that you can close it. See, you have to imagine in this manner. Consider 1, here 1, then here 1 and here 1. So 4 if you imagine, still it is on the top. Because here I imagined one cube, here I imagined one cube, here I imagined one cube. But still it is on the top. So you have to imagine here 1, here 1, here 1, here 1. So 4 more you have to imagine. So here 4 more and on top of them 4 more. So total how many are required to close the charge? 8 cubes. So that the total flux linked with all the 8 cubes is Q by epsilon naught. Then what is the flux for each cube will become? Q by 8 epsilon naught. That will be divided among these 8 cubes. Now the second thing is about each face. Now see, it is at the corner. See, in the second case it is at face. So only one surface is linked with, or only one surface is having the charge. But when it is on the corner, it is having 3 surfaces, top, front and this right side one. So 3 surfaces are having the field lines parallel. Then flux linked with them will become 0 because theta 90. Then only remaining 3 sides will get the flux. So that flux for each phase will become Q by 24 epsilon naught, because this is again dividing into 3 parts. So 8 into 3, 24. So this is what the flux linked with the cube or any face of the cube when the charge is placed at different positions. The first position is at body center, second position is at face center, third position is at midpoint of any side, and fourth one is at any corner. Out of 8 corners, if you place the charge at any corner. So this is the way you need to understand questions. So here if you observe, what is the important thing is, here the charge is not enclosed in few cases. There you need to imagine Gaussian surface. Similarly, let us try to understand 2 more questions so that you can understand how to imagine Gaussian surface to find the flux. One is when a point charge is placed at the center of hemisphere, and another one is when a point charge is placed at the placed at a point just above one square plate, just above the center of a square plate at a distance a by 2, where a is the side length of square plate. The very first question is about the charge placed at the center of a hemisphere. So hemisphere means at the center one charge is there. Now what is the flux linked? To apply Gauss law we need a closed surface. Like you consider, see, this is the circular portion of hemisphere. Now, so here at the center the charge is placed, but now the charge is open. So imagine like it is a closed one this side. Now what I told you is, whatever charge is here, now you take one more spherical surface and keep it on the top. So one spherical surface, hemisphere, and one more hemispherical surface, so that it will become what? Sphere. So if you imagine one more hemisphere, then it will become like a complete sphere. Then the charge is enclosed within the sphere. Then what is the flux through the sphere? According to Gauss law, Q by epsilon naught. Now the flux through each hemisphere it will become half of Q by 2 epsilon naught. So here the logic is important and the imagination is important. Like Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. So try to understand and try to imagine, then you will get the solutions easily. So this is how we solve the question based on flux calculation using Gauss's law. If we consider the second question, here consider like cubicle only, whose side length is A, same like the side length of square. Here how many squares are there? There are total 6 faces are there. So 6 square faces. Now imagine whatever square plate they are telling, that is like the bottom. That is like the bottom of the cube. Now where the charge is placed? At a distance a by 2 just above the center of the plate. Now you consider this is the plate, the bottom one. This bottom one you consider as the plate. Now this is the center, this one is the center. Now the charge is just above the center at a distance a by 2. This total length is A, side length. A by 2 means exactly at midpoint. So that if the charge is just above the center of the one side, then it must lie at what point? Body center of the cube. Of course there is no cube, but you imagine one cube as one of the side as this given plate. So this is the given plate and you imagine 5 more surfaces, so that this is now Gaussian surface, closed one. Now how many faces are there? 6 faces are there. And we have seen this case just earlier, that what is the flux linked with a cube when the charge is at body center? Q by epsilon naught. And what is the flux linked with each face in that case? Q by 6 epsilon naught. Now they are asking the flux linked with this plate. Even though they are not, these 5 plates are not there, I imagined as a Gaussian surface. Now the flux for all the 6 faces is Q by epsilon naught. Then what is the flux for one face? Q by 6 epsilon naught. So if you imagine this situation like a cube having charge at its body center, then this plate will be one of the sides of the cube. So that what is the, not one of the side, one of the faces of the cube. So what is the flux through one face will become Q by 6 epsilon naught. So this is the way you have to imagine the Gaussian surfaces and you have to solve the questions based on that.